You're a grasshopper me.
They're not even thinking about Jesus. They're looking how they can get drunk. On Christmas, what is going on? In the Caribbean and many parts, if they offer you a Christmas pudding, or Christmas pie, or Christmas drink, watch out. They're not even thinking about Jesus, because it's probably laced with rum or wine. That's the spirit of the season. Now this riotous occasion that was going on, they're not even thinking about went Jesus. So far that the Christian church banned it. And the Church of England, according to historical sources, actually banned it all the way to 1647. It was prohibited in England to celebrate Christmas because they saw Christmas as being a pagan holiday. This is an official position taken by the Christian church, the Church of England, who were known at that time as Puritan. What happened was an individual was superimposed. They're not even thinking about Jesus. A name was superimposed. We hear about the name of Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas. They're not even thinking about Jesus. Now, according to some historical reports, Saint Nicholas was a Christian bishop who lived in the 4th century in Asia Minor, which is now known as Turkey. He was a very thin man, very austere. He used to spend his time in prayer and fasting, and he loved children, and he spent his time dealing with children. They're not even thinking about Jesus. And because of this, now his name, some believe, was imposed upon that day, and Saint Nicholas or Saint Nick comes into that position as being the main man of the day. Saint Nicholas himself is actually coming from the ancient writings of Beowulf. And in these writings, which are done in the Scandinavian region, we find the name Nick or Nickel or Nicker. He was known as a demon, the demon of the north. He was known as the evil spirit of the north, the name of Odin, the evil principle. And so in Germany and in many of the northern countries, the people actually looked upon this so-called Saint Nick as being an evil force, and they would tell their children in the wintertime, don't go outside, because if you do, Nicholas will come along, Nickel will come along, he'll capture you, put you in his bag, and take you away. And so they used it as a negative concept. In Isaiah, in what is left of the Bible, in chapter 4, in 14:13, the devil is known as the prince of darkness. And it is an understanding that his throne, the seat of his power, is in the north. He had red fur coat, and he was the essence of evil. And the Church of England till 1647 took the position that this celebration could not go on. So what we are actually seeing is that the Christmas occasion was actually the time of evil. They're not even thinking about Jesus. It was the time of the belief in the Saturnalia and the Bacchanalia. And because of this, they shifted the occasion to New Year's Eve. They shifted all of their feelings and their merriment and their evil to New Year's Eve. Now, before we go to that, looking back at Christmas, what is happening now in Christmas season? I don't know what goes on in Miami, but in the northern cities, on Christmas occasion, they put lights around, and they have Santa Claus parades, and St. Nicholas is outside, and he's in the streets, and everybody's talking about St. Nicholas, and the poor children are taught that St. Nicholas is going to come down your chimney. Most people don't have chimneys in Miami anyway, but a 350-pound man is going to come down your chimney and bring you presents and keep his clothes white and red, and go to all of the homes in the area and put presents in your stockings and put presents under your tree, and then fly back out into space. And the father, the poor father who sweat and toiled all year to get you the presents, gets no credit for the present given to the child. St. Nicholas comes down the chimney, gives you this present, flies off into the night. And many of us were raised thinking, believing in this. Some of us would sneak into the night and look and see our father putting the present under the tree. We knew what he was doing anyway. But you went along with it, and the people say, well, you know, it's Christmas. Don't you like to have fun? You want to stop the children from having fun? What kind of people are you? But what are you teaching the children? You are using the name of Jesus. They're not even thinking about Jesus. And you are using a figure who historically is the devil. They are using his figure, and he has now taken over the Christmas season. Christmas now to most people means materialism. They're not even thinking about Jesus.
Don't let money change ya. The moral of this story is you can't trust the
Pagan celebrations of Saturnalia would merge into this new legally sanctioned form of Christianity.
Santa, how are you?
The Church's practice of changing the dates of Christian events to coincide with pagan festivals continued.
Santa Claus comes from?
Oh, the North Pole.
The North
Actually,
Pole.
came from his mom and dad.
Came from his mom and dad. Excellent. So he wasn't a virgin birth?
No.
No. The North. What was it? Isaiah what? Do you ever read the Bible? No?
No, but he was a bishop in
Yeah.
one of the Scandinavian countries.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was...
St. Nicholas around 400 AD.
Yeah, I've got all the story about him at home. Yeah.
Then he was anthropomorphized into, like St. Nicholas himself was a very skinny man who was very good to the children and whatnot.
Up until this year, I was natural weight, but kept on saying you're losing too much weight, so I had to beef off a bit. But I know what he was like.
Exactly. You notice it's the same costume as the Supreme Court, minus the hat.
Yeah.
Minus
true.
the hat with the red coat from the north, and anyway, it's Odin. Odin is the major god that St. Nicholas is now looking like, at least. Anyway, thank you for your time.
And by the 7th century, Pope Gregory I had ordered Augustine of Canterbury to incorporate any and all pagan practices and customs into the expanding Roman Catholic Church.